Trees in our urban neighborhoods are valuable assets, providing us shade, clean air, stormwater management, and so much more. Particularly, the Oregon oaks found in our community and in the Willamette Valley at large are some of the most important trees for our human and non-human neighbors. These native trees we find on our street corners and in our backyards are the living legacies of the oak savanna habitat that once dominated this valley. Due to colonization and development, only about 5% of this unique environment remains. And with their immense natural, cultural, and historical value, it is critical that these trees are cared for and new generations are planted.
I'm David Craig, Professor of Biology at Willamette University and a neighbor of the Gaiety Hill neighborhood. I came to Willamette University in 2000 and have lived and worked in this neighborhood since then. Oregon oaks were part of my childhood, and they're part of the heritage of Oregon that my ancestors have lived, and has been part of just a huge story. I just love oaks for so many reasons. As a nerd, I like that they have as many as 300 species associated with them. They have things that live only on them. I love that they connect every big oak, like the one behind me, or every big oak in anybody's yard, reflects decisions that the owners are making right then about, I care about this tree, and I love seeing that. That oak tells the story of the people who didn't cut it down when the settlers first came into the Willamette Valley in the 1850s and 1880s. And these oaks tell the stories of the Kalapuya people and how they made a place that was full of oaks. And then how all of those people, the Kalapuya, the settlers and their ancestors, and the new people who live in Salem now, all of us living here together today get to be part of this oak community. That's part of why I love oaks. As a biologist studying rare species and common species and how things are changing in the world, the oak trees we have in our neighborhood harbor 300 species that just live on them or need them. Some of the species are really easy to see for everybody. Something called a slender-billed, white-breasted nuthatch lives in the Willamette Valley and a little bit to the north, a little bit to the south. It's our special bird of this neighborhood and every other neighborhood that has the Oregon oaks. The main concern I have about the neighborhood oaks is they have a few special conditions my neighbors don't always appreciate. They need to have a little bit drier summer, and they need almost no pruning. And so I just want them to know more about how special the trees are, and I'm worried that we'll lose some of them in the future.
I do appreciate the fact that they give us shade, and again, we do enjoy watching the birds and the squirrels and everything, and so having a home for them in the oak trees is important to us.
Well, the concerns I have about the oak trees is, well, for their own livability, they've broken branches off in the last few years, and I look at these trees thinking that could happen a lot. And it's not just for damaging a house, it's for the structure of the tree. It's sad when that happens.
Well, we've been super fortunate to live right here next to Bush Park since our kids were born, and so we can just walk right over and enjoy the natural beauty of all of these oaks. Provides an awesome canopy of shade. Some of them have been here, over 100 years, some even longer, and it's just pretty amazing to be under all of them.
Living next door to Bush Park, it's definitely one of the draws that had us move to Salem, and I would say it's just been such a great place for our kids to grow up. I think they're drawn to kind of the energy of something so ancient, and it's amazing to me that this whole area used to be an oak savanna, and we're left with kind of these amazing patches of them now. And I would just say the energy, the weight of something ancient like that is kind of amazing. There's such a limited savanna left. It's kind of hanging on to what's still here. And I know, because they're so amazing and beautiful, we do things like the art fair and concerts, and lots of people want to come and be here. And it's just, I think, finding the balance of protecting the trees, but allowing people to appreciate them up close.
I love these great big trees. The oak trees grow so big, and they provide a wonderful ambiance for a neighborhood being a warm and inviting place to live. Sitting under a tree is just such a wonderful thing. The tree sort of embraces you. It's comfortable. Of course, trees absorb the heat. They're wonderful for that. This neighborhood, being an inner city neighborhood, has a lot of concrete, a lot of hard surfaces. And having these trees makes an incredible difference, I believe, in temperature as well as in the look of the neighborhood. We also are surrounded by these parks that have wonderful groves of these trees that make us think that even though we're in the middle of the city, we do have nature, and the trees provide that. I worry about them because we seem to be losing them for various reasons. Overwatering, which is one problem that we have, because in the parks and in people's homes we want to make things green, and just from construction we lose trees because things have been developed in our neighborhood, and it's when we lose one of these big trees, it makes a big hole. Everyone can feel it, and so I think preserving them is really, really important. Big trees really matter. I love them.
The Oregon oaks in our neighborhoods have a lot to teach us. Without learning how to best care for our trees today, we risk losing them to disease and poorly planned development. Planning for the Willamette Valley's future of summers growing longer and hotter, we can benefit from the natural drought resistance of Oregon oaks and their ability to provide shade at very low costs. When we care for our old oaks, we benefit ourselves, our neighbors, and many types of engaging wildlife. And when we plant new oaks, we care for our future generations.
What's your favorite thing about oak trees?
Well, inside of them they produce food like sap. Well, you can't eat oaks and stuff. That's like the most thing about those trees. My favorite thing about oak trees is playing around them. My favorite thing is to climb oak trees because sometimes the branches are low enough for me to get on top of them.
Sure.
Squirrely!